Hey guys, welcome back to this episode and thanks for joining in. In this one, I'm going to try and complete the sign up and the login screen. So from the last video, we created the login screen and created the sign up screen, added the text field and created a custom text field class. All right, so in this video, I'm going to start making the sign up and the login, all joined together, and then you can understand the entire process. Okay. So I have a project here and I'm gonna try and increase it like this, right? So I'm gonna reduce it like that, right? So now we have this 3 screens, right? And I want to join three of them together. What am I saying? Well, if you look at this design, what can we make out of this design? From this login sign up screen design here, if you click the login button, it will take you to this login screen. But if you click the sign up button, it will take you to this sign up screen. So there's like a navigation involved, right? And since navigation is involved, we're going to use the navigation view controller. So and this also right here shows that if you click it, you're going to return to the previous place you were. That's like this place. And let's say you click the sign up and you end up here and click back, you will come back here. All right, so this is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying. So right now, this sign up view controller is the first one to show because we made it the initial view controller, and that's why we have this arrow right here, right? But I want this one to be the initial view controller. I want this one to be the first, but this one is gonna control the navigation for the rest of this one, because this login sign up guy, he depends on this FLAVR screen. And this sign up girl, like right here, she depends on this FLAVR screen as well. So they both depend on this guy right here, right? So since this guy is going to be the main navigator, I'm just going to select him right here, and then I'll go to the editor and I'll say embedding, and I'll select navigation controller like that, right? So this navigation controller appears, and now it's holding this FLAVR screen. So I want this FLAVR screen to be the first one. So I'm going to select this navigation controller right here, and I'm going to make it the initial view controller, right? So that if I run it like that, okay, so see what I have? So I have the FLAVR screen. All right, so that's looking good. So I want to, once I click this login button, I want it to take me to the login screen, and if I hit this sign up button, I want to take me to the sign up screen. So what I'm going to do is hit this login button, and I'm going to hit control, and I'm going to drag it to this login sign up screen, and I'll say show like that. That's a segue. So it's gonna take me to this login sign up screen. So let's see what we have at this moment. Okay, so I'm going to come to the FLAVR screen and I want to log in. Voila, like that. And then if I click this, I'm going to go back, right? So let's do the same thing for the sign up. So select the sign up button, control, drag, go to the sign up screen, release, and I'll say show like that. All right, now I'm going to run it again. And if I hit the login takes me to the login screen like that. If I go back and I hit the sign up, takes me to the sign up screen like that, right? It's looking good, right? If I select that, I can type all that. Well, we're not signing up, we want to go back. All right, so let's look at this design, because we want to stick with the design. All right, so see this FLAVR screen. It doesn't have this this stuff up right here showing the navigation, right? This navigation bar is not in the FLAVR. It's not here, so we need to take this out. Now this login screen, it doesn't have this status bar. The back button is different from this one. It doesn't have this back text right here, you see, and it doesn't have this navigation bar. It is clear. It only has a back arrow like that. And the same thing with the sign up screen. No status bar, no navigation bar, no back title, and just the back arrow. So that's what I'm going to try and get right now. So probably first thing I'm going to do is take this bar away, so that I can have I'm just going to make it invisible, so I can just have just nothing right there, right? What am I saying, right? This is what I'm saying. See this navigation controller right here. This navigation controller is the one responsible for that bar, because when we embedded it right here and we dragged this login button and put it right here, the navigation controller also affected this login screen and affected the sign up screen. So this navigation controller is like a stack, right? So it's like you put your first favorite book on the table, and then you put another book on top of that number one favorite book, and this becomes your number two favorite book. And now you put this one on number three favorite book on top of number two favorite book, like that, and put this one number four favorite book on top of. So it's like you put that one, you put another one, and you put another one. So it's like a stack, and that's why it's like affecting all this navigation. So since you want to follow the object oriented way, and I know I'm going to have a navigation controller like all over the project. Like this is a navigation controller as well. This is a navigation controller right here. This is a navigation controller right here. This one is also a navigation. This one, like, look at everywhere is navigation controller. So I'm not going to create navigation controller every time for all of them. I'm just going to observe all of the navigation controllers and see the common property, right? I'm going to abstract the similarities between all the navigation controller, which is what object-oriented principle is saying. Like, you have to make an abstraction, which is like a common pattern in all the whole stuff. So I'm going to abstract that invincibleness, that ability to be invincible, because all of them have they are all transparent in the design. So if I create one navigation controller and customize it, I can just make it for the rest of all the project, and makes it less code, and I don't have to type all those things. So that's why I want to make the navigation controller invincible, right? But for the signs, they are all different, right? They are all different. And then the status bar is invisible here, but we have the status bar in like the rest of the project, but this status bar is different. So Since the navigation controller is going to be invisible, what I'm going to do is this navigation view controller, I'm going to create a custom class again, like that, new file, and it's going to be a Cocoa Touch class, and it's going to be a UI navigation, not navigation, but stop that, navigation view. Come on, give. All right, so once it does like that, this is just what I'm going to do. Just cancel this first, right? And then go to this navigation controller, select it, and go to the identity inspector and see what you have there, that faint color there. It says navigation controller. Okay, so that's what I want to create. New file, subclass of UI navigation controller. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to say this is a, select that. I'm going to say this is a custom navigation controller, like that. All right, I'm going to hit next. The subclass is UI navigation controller, and the class is custom navigation controller. Hit next, create, and finish. So now this class is created, and it has a view did load, just like the first method. So I don't need to do the init things and super.init things. So right here, I'm just gonna do first loading function, right? All right, so before I forget, right, go to the main.storyboard and select this navigation controller, and I'm going to assign it this class, custom navigation controller, like that. Right, so now I can now affect this status bar. Right, so I'm just going to go to the custom navigation controller, and if you I'm going to say, like, maybe setup, I'm going to say no, I want to say make bar invisible, like that. All right, I'm going to make it a ghost bar. Select that one, and I'm going to name a function that makes the bar invisible. All right, so that thing that I was talking about was the bar, right? So this navigation view controller has a navigation bar inside it. So I'm going to say the navigation bar dot, I'm going to set the background image, like that, and I'm gonna give it a UI image, right, an empty UI image, and I'm gonna make it for the default state, right? And then I'm gonna try it right now. Let's see what we have. So select that and run. All right, that's looking good. It's looking good, looking good. All right, but this line shadow image, so I'm gonna do the same thing for this shadow image, like this, right? Let's say navigation bar dot the shadow image inside the navigation bar is going to be equal to UI image, like that, right? and then I'm going to say navigation bar dot I want to make it translucent. So I'm going to take this boolean property and says, is it translucent? Is it translucent? I'm going to say, yeah, it's translucent. So let's see what we have now. Looks good, right? That looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks beautiful. See that? Now hit the login button. See the login button? And if I hit the sign up button, right? So now I want to take this status bar away. I want to take that status bar away and take it away. All right, so let's do that. Let's take the status bar away. So I'm going to go to the login. It's going to take this preferred status bar, copy that, go to the login view controller, paste that right there, and go to the sign up view controller, and I'm just gonna paste that right there like that. All right, let's see what we have now. All right, so login, that looks good. It's all gone, right? And if I go back and go to the sign up, well, that sign up didn't go out. All right, let's check the sign up again. Let's go to the main or storyboard. So the sign up view controller. Okay, and make sure the class is sign up view controller. See, forgot that. Select that. All right, that's why it wasn't showing. Okay, so run it again. Hit the login. There we go. Go back, hit the sign up. Nice, looks good, right? Looks good. Well, design is not the same right now. Might want to say it looks good, but I want to get all the details of the design, right? So now the problem is this back button is on this position. It's not at this position right here. So we need to bring this back button down, and for the sign up we need to bring the back button down again, right? That's what we want to do. All right, so let's do that. We'll go to the login view controller. So during the setup, right, I need to, for this stuff like the nav bar is gonna, because the status bar has a height, so if I took the status bar away, you know, it will go up to the position where the status bar is, right? To move up to where the status bar was. So the status bar was like, you know, right up here, you know, so that place is 20. So if I take it away, this place is gonna go up, and that's what I have. That's what I have happening here. So if I do like add 20 to the position here, it's gonna bring it down. So that's what I want to do. So I come to the login view controller and I'll say I'll get the navigation controller, because it's like a stack, and then I get the navigation bar, and I'll get the layer, then the frame of the navigation bar, then the origin of the frame, right? The Y origin, because the Y is like up and down, and X is left and right, right? I'm going to add 20 right there, like that. So I'm going to run it again and see what we have. So if I hit this one for login, see right there, it's aligned at the same spot, right? That's good. That's good. Okay. So now if I change the size of this text to the icon here, then it's gonna come down, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing for the sign up. Oh, now I didn't do the same thing sign up. So how did it happen? Well, the navigation view controller is in a stack, and all this is in the stack of the navigation view controller. So if I reference the navigation view controller and got to the bar, there's only one bar for all of them. So if I change it right here, it's gonna change for the rest that is in that stack at that time. Okay, so now next thing I'm gonna do is to take away that back, this back title right here, and take away this back right here. Okay, so I'll go to the main.storyboard. All right, so this is the navigation view controller, right? And the navigation view controller, what it's like affected the login view controller. So login view controller, that's the login view controller. Then it also affected the login sign up view controller. That's that one, right? So in the login sign up view controller, it has a navigation item, right? Okay, so this navigation item in the login sign up is a default back button. So I can't see it right here. So if I want to add a back button to this login screen and back button to this sign up screen, I need to add another navigation item and add a navigation button. So once I add those things, it's going to let me change the text. But this one is this one that comes here is a default, right? The default. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to download this the arrow right here, this arrow. So just select the arrow and then come down here, and where it says export, I see arrow, just select that, and I'm going to export it to the desktop. So you can do that for all the icons right here. Export all these icons, and you can have them in a folder. Once you export all the icons like that, select that, and it takes you to all the icons. So you select that one, you do that for 1x, do that for 2x and 3x. You add, like, you know, for 2x you add at 2x like that, and then you change it for like 2x right here, and then you do that for all the icons. And once you do that for all the icons, then you can have them in one place, right? So that's what I have in my downloads right here, flavor icons, right? So I'm going to import all those icons right now, so I don't have to worry about icons. So I'll create a folder right here, and I'll call it new group, and I'll call it icons, like that. Enter. I want the icons to be somewhere down here, so I don't get bothered about, you know, all these other things. So now I'm gonna drag this favor icons, because there's the icons. I did all this 1x 2x and stuff. I'm gonna drag the icons to this icon folder like that, and I'm gonna copy items if needed. Finish. All right, so I'm gonna go to the assets, and I'm just gonna add this favor icon to the assets like that. Drag it, yeah, and that, and now it's there, right? So now I can get this back arrow. So I'll go to the main.storyboard. What I'm gonna do is select this login view controller, and I'm gonna add a navigation item. So UI navigation item. So I drag the navigation item, and I'm gonna drop it like that. So now this navigation item will have a title, and it can take a bar button item. So I'm gonna put like a bar button item like that. UI bar button item. Drag a bar button item and put it on the left side like that. Okay, I'm gonna go to the sign up and do the same thing. I'm gonna drag a navigation item like that. It's gonna give me a title, and I'm gonna drag a bar button item, bar button item like that. I'm gonna drop it there. All right, so now this login, where's the login? This one is the login sign up, login view controller. So login view controller has all these things in the view login and the the text field. Now it has a navigation item. That's this one highlighted right there. And for the left bar button item, it has an item inside this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to change this title right here. Select the title, go to title here and take that away, and then I'm going to go to this item. Now it asks me what's the bar item, the image for the item. I'm going to select the IC arrow back, the back arrow like that. Okay, so selector is going to be a blue color, the default blue color on all the UI elements. Well, I want this blue color to be like that, right? Just as I have here. Now I'm going to select that for the sign up view controller. I'm going to select the bar button item, the arrow back, and make it black like that. Select title, and I'm going to delete it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to run it and see what we have. Okay, so a lot of warnings, about 25 warnings. Interesting. Okay, so select this. Select that and log in. Now I have the back button item like that. But if I try to go back, it's not going back, right? Why? Because it doesn't know what to do when I click that button. It doesn't know what to do. What I wanted to do is I want to remove this view controller from the stack of the navigation view controller. Because remember, it was like a stack of favorite books. So I want to take this away when I click this button. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a lot of warnings here because I've used this icons multiple times. So make sure you rename them if you're using them again. So that's why I have this warnings. Like, it's telling me the image is used by multiple image assets. So I'm going to try and solve that issue right now, just from the icons. But right now, what we want to do is to make this buttons active and make it go back to the initial view controllers. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Get this assistant editor, and then I'm going to go to the login, select it right here, go to automatic, then go to manual, favorite recipe, view controller, select login view controller, like that. Now you can select the button right here, but to be safe, I'm just gonna come right here, select that, control, drag it, go there, release it. The connection is going to be an action, and I'm going to name it back button tapped, like that, and I hit connect. Right now I'm going to do the same thing for the sign up view controller. So I'm going to select this, select view controller, then select the sign up view controller. Now I'm going to select this button, this back button item right here, control drag and drop it right there. And I'm going to make the action, I'm going to make the connection an action, and I'll say the name is back button tapped, like that. Hit connect. So now just gonna go to the view controllers, put everything back the way it was, go to the login view controller, and in this back button tap, I want to get the navigation controller, because the navigation controller has all the view controllers stacked upon each other, so that when you navigate, it's going to go to that one. So I want to get the reference to the navigation view controller. So navigation view controller dot, I'll say pop view controller, and I make the animation true, right? So I'll say pop the one on top of the stack. So I'm going to go to the sign up view controller, and I'm going to do the same thing, right? Let's say navigation controller, the pop view controller. I'll say this is true, like that. Pop current view controller in the stack, like that. Just put the comments right there. Go to the login view controller, and then put the comment back there. Say pops current view controller and stack. All right, okay, looks good, right? All right, let's test it now and see what we have. I don't know why I have this warnings of 25 ones. I think it has to do with the image assets, because I've used it in multiple projects. But I'm gonna solve it because it has to do with the images. But I don't expect you to have this number of warnings. All right, so let's just run it and see what we have right now. All right, so like that, looks good, right? And I'll try this back arrow. Looks good, right? Do the same thing for the sign up, right? Looks like that, right? All right, so that's that for the login and the sign up screen, right? All right, guys, so if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you leave your comments and like. I want to just let you guys know, if you're watching this for the first time, you're interested in iOS programming, just keep on coding and keep on learning, and someday you're gonna get somewhere. I want to tell you guys that you guys are amazing and awesome. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm gonna start working on the next project, so we get that video out ready. Now feel free to check the other videos, the previous ones and the next one, if you haven't already done so. And make sure you leave your comments and your suggestions. If you find a better way of writing code, just feel free to leave the comment right there and say, hey, you can do this better and faster this way, and I'll be glad to learn from you. So this has been Chili Bean signing out. Thanks for watching this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So happy coding to you guys.